Good afternoon. Welcome to the Bloomington Rotary Club's weekly celebration of service. I'm Steve Wicks, and I'm honored to serve as your president this year. Please silence your electronic devices. On this day in history, December 9th, 1854, Alfred Tennyson's poem, Charge of the Light Brigade, was published in the Examiner. Theirs not to make reply, theirs not to reason why, theirs but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. And on that cheery note, Sandy Keller will deliver today's reflection.
Gee, Steve, I just don't know what to say about that introduction. Hi, everybody. I'm Sandy Keller with My Sister's Closet. I would like to tell you about something that happened about 3 weeks ago. I was looking at my calendar, an alert came up, and it was a notification saying that this was one of the dates that Charlotte and I had picked out for an intimate fundraiser using her 4 cases of wine that were still in her flat. And we were going to do this after she arrived at Beltrace with chocolate and cheese and wine. It was going to be a wonderful evening. And of course, we know what happened after that. You know, Charlotte has known me for over 27 and a half years since I started My Sister's Closet, but it was really over the last 3 years that she started to really get involved and notice what was happening with our organization. I started meeting with her and Cheryl Munson, who were trying to tell me that this move was happening because the convention center was going to move forward no matter what. Very hospitably, Tracy Jovanovich hosted both Charlotte and I at her home once, where she made this fabulous bread and lunch and wrote down a list of people that I should consider contacting to be on a capital campaign board, none of whose names I knew at all. And they had insisted that I needed to move forward and take myself out of helping clients with the programming and being so involved with running the organization if this was going to happen. And I walked out of there thinking that this was the most impossible job and there was no way I was going to be able to do this because I had no experience doing it at all. We'd been running My Sister's Closet as a mostly self-funded business for this entire time. And where was I going to get this money for a capital campaign beyond what our monthly mission was all about? But Charlotte kept meeting with me. She kept calling me up in the middle of the night saying that she had an idea. We kept coming over to her house. When we found out that we had found the building, she was so excited. She insisted that Marcy and I put her in a car and drive her over there for a tour because she wanted to see firsthand what was going on. And then pretty much every day after that, until she moved to Beltrace, I was hearing from Charlotte in one way or another. And she laid out this plan of things that she said that if I put faith in it, things would start to happen, grants would come in, people would show up, and they have shown up. They've shown up on teams, they've shown up with their talent, they've shown up with their resources. And she will forever be in my head. But I love her, but we are still going to do this event sometime. We'll put it on the calendar. You'll all be invited. In the meantime, we have a gala that we are planning for February 13th, which is a Friday, which is not bad luck, but it will be all about chocolate and the Woolery Mill and dinner and dance music and great client stories. Charlotte was big on helping us in ways that I did not know that she could. Like when the Ukrainian refugees came in, she still had enough Russian language that she made them come feel welcome when she stopped by to make sure she was there for that appointment. And so many other ways she helped us out that I can't even name in this very short 3 minutes. But I would just like to let you know how much I appreciate her and how we are moving forward. We have no money still, but we are moving forward with resources to money. And our lease is ending in June, as many of you are asking. And last week, when it was 19 degrees out, it was 47 degrees in that building, even with the heat on. So we've got a lot of things to do. But I'm very grateful for her and all the ways that she has done things to help these women that we serve. And I appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Sandy. I think probably most of us in the room at one point or another experienced moving forward with no money. Hank Walter will introduce our guests today.
Good afternoon. That's a tough act to follow. We have just one guest here on site. Lindsay Giacomino is a guest of Art Amick. Lindsay, welcome. And do we have any guests online?
We do not.
Okay.
Thank you, Hank. Birthdays, we have several to celebrate. On the 10th, Club Director and Program Committee Chair, Michael Shermis. On the 11th, Club Executive Assistant, still working a few hours for us, Natalie Blaze. Also on the 11th, Kate Johnson. On the 12th, Club Director Jim Sims. Also on the 12th, Greer Carson. And on the 13th, Daniel Matthews. Just one anniversary to celebrate. On the 11th, Trent Deckard, who's sitting there in the back, 9 years with Rotary. Announcements. The DEI committee plans to meet after the club meeting today. Meeting is open to DEI committee members as well as club members who would like to serve on the DEI committee. Patrick Smith is right there, so he'll kind of group people together near the end of the meeting. We're also planning to maintain the Zoom link. So Leslie, as our Zoom host today, if you could kind of make sure that those on Zoom who want to stick around for the DEI meeting, they can do so. They'll just have to stay on the same Zoom call. Bloomington Rotary Foundation Committee is also meeting at 1 p.m. here after today's meeting. Remember, the 23rd and 30th of December, no club meetings. So unusual that we miss time, but this is typically when we'll miss 2 weeks. The union, I think, is closed for some of that time. So no Rotary Club meetings on Tuesday, the 23rd and Tuesday, the 30th. Wonder Lab on Saturday, December 13th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sunday, December 14th from 1:30 to 5 p.m. Wonder Lab invites you to celebrate the chilly magic of the season with a weekend full of winter-themed science fun for the whole family. Come ready to investigate all things snowy and cold. The IU Rotaract Club has scheduled a fundraiser for this Thursday, December 11th, 4 to 8 p.m. at the Chipotle at 420 East Kirkwood. 25% of the sales proceeds during that time will be given to the IU Rotaract Club. So if you're not going to the holiday party and you don't have dinner plans on Thursday, think about ordering from the Kirkwood Chipotle between 4 and 8, and you'll help the IU Rotaract Club. I believe we had 8 club members who rang bells this past Saturday at Kroger East and Kroger South. And we have all our spots covered for December 13th. So thank you very much. Last announcement, Chamber of Commerce Business After Hours and Holiday Party is on the 18th, Thursday at German American Bank, the South Branch on South Walnut. as members, the chamber is a member of our organization. We're a member of the chamber. So Rotary Club members are invited to that free of charge. Now I think we're ready for the Mystery Rotarian. Okay, for those who don't remember the rules, I'll put up several clues from the Mystery Rotarian. If you know the answer, put up your hand, don't shout it out. Those of you online, if you know, put up your hand electronically. Here's our first clue. After earning degrees from the universities of Maryland, Tennessee, and Louisville, this Rotarian discovered Bloomington by accident after getting lost following a visit to Brown County State Park. Okay, we have quite a few who know it so far. All right. Once again, don't shout it out. Second clue. Before joining the Bloomington Rotary Club, this individual was a member of a Rotary Club in Laguna Niguel, California. As a BRC member, this Rotarian has become a Paul Harris +1 fellow, a generous donor in general, and an active supporter, particularly of the club's international projects and local refugee efforts. So put up your hand if you know. Those who put it up the first time, you can put it up again. Okay, about the same number. Okay, third and final clue. This Rotarian has served as the president of the local society of the Friends of Music and the Monroe County Medical Society before retiring to North Carolina and subsequently Chicago. This club member established and ran Volunteers in Medicine here in Bloomington. Okay, lots of people. And our Mystery Rotarian this week, Dr. Raj Adawi. And Raj, I'm sure you're online. I don't know what you can see, but there are lots of people clapping for you. And I think Trent and Sally were the first two that I noticed, but there are several over here as well. Did you guys have it right? Okay, excellent. A little bit more about Raj. He is one of our regular Zoom meeting attendees. He's also served as a member of the IU Foundation International Committee, a cardiac rehab volunteer, and a boys club soccer coach. At one point, his volunteer efforts were recognized by then Governor Daniels. Originally from Iraq, Raj ultimately became an orthopedic surgeon. Volunteers in Medicine is now part of HealthNet, which continues to do great work in Indianapolis and Bloomington, and HealthNet is an organizational member of this club. Raj enjoys skiing, loves to travel, stays fit through walking and regular gym use, and Raj is passionate about opera, music, and theater. So good job, Raj. And Leslie, did anyone have it right online other than Raj?
Yes, Martha and I had our hands up. If there were others, I'm sorry if I missed you.
Okay, good job for you and Martha. Okay, we will move on to Rotary International. Here's 7 areas of focus. Remember, December is Disease Prevention and Treatment Month. And our Happy Dollars proceeds in November and December will be given to the Rotary Foundation. That's Rotary International. So things like eradicating polio. And now we have a video to play.
Behind every Rotary project is someone who believes in a better world. That someone is you. Thanks to your generosity, communities around the globe are growing stronger every day. This year alone, your support helped fund 1,424 global grants and 468 district grants, fueling projects that create lasting change. In Papua New Guinea, a midwife buddy program is creating local leaders and fostering safer birthing practices in even the most remote villages. In Uganda, 4 schools now have a rainwater harvesting system. delivering clean water and improving both health and education. In Serbia, a program using robots is teaching students the IT skills needed to be future innovators. And around the world, your contributions are helping to deliver life-saving polio vaccines, bringing us closer to a polio-free future. Together, we are preventing disease, expanding access to education, growing economies, and protecting mothers and children. This vital work is only possible because of you. With your help, the Rotary Foundation raised more than $569 million this year. Every gift, large or small, helps create meaningful, lasting change. The good we do starts with you. And together, we are doing good in the world. Thank you.
And once again, the Rotary Foundation pledged $50 million a year for the next 3 years, combined with the Gates Foundation, $100 million for the next 3 years in the efforts to eradicate polio. We have time for happy dollars. Tracy has graciously stepped up short notice to be our camera mic operator. So do we have anyone who is happy today?
We better.
I'm happy for the Quarryman Men's Choir. Saturday night, we had very few people because of the football game. But on Sunday, we had a rousing crowd. And also on Saturday, I saw Mohammadi family, refugee family that we helped, and they are doing so well thanks to our help. Thank you. Happy dollars.
Okay. I'll come back.
We have Leslie online with her hand up. Oh,
Hi, I have happy dollars. I just got word that my dad made it through surgery. He had an aneurysm in his aorta. So very, very happy that just got word of that. So I'll be donating happy dollars.
I'm giving happy dollars because I was happy with that video, and it reminded me of our students that applied for scholarships for Rotary this past time. I think 7 out of the 11 were doing robotics, which was a new area for me and new learning, and it's exciting to know that we're doing that at an international level as well. So I'm giving $50 to support the foundation and all the good work they're doing.
Fortunately, I wore flats.
I'm happy that my friend Lindsay was able to join us today.
Oh.
I'm happy because I'm just really thrilled with how our football team did. It was just fantastic. It's like a dream come true. And on top of that, I'm going to be visiting my grandkids out in San Francisco over Christmas.
Do we have any more online while I'm looking internally?
We do. We have Raj.
Go ahead, Raj.
I'm muting a little bit here.
We can hear you, though. We can hear you.
You good?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm delighted and happy about our football success this year. I lived in Indiana 43 years. I never saw a season as wonderful as this year, particularly the last game. As well, there are 2 things. I thank Steve about the honoring me being an identified Rotarian. But the most important thing to let everybody know, despite me out of Bloomington, my root and my connection to Bloomington is strong as ever. The Bloomington News is my news, and I appreciate being part of the Rotary to keep these news coming. For that, I'll give $50 for the dollar.
That's awesome. Sandy?
I have happy dollars because on the way over here, I received a text from someone I hadn't heard from since I was 18 years old. I'm 66 years old, who is making a sizable gift to our campaign. And didn't even know him very well in high school. Oh, I hate to say, but it was just a wonderful, wonderful thing to hear.
It's awesome. And I have one, I will give $20, two things. One, we went to the game and I am so proud of our fans and team and how classy they acted and act in winning, especially in looking at the opposition, I'll just say. And then secondly, I just want to make sure everyone's aware this is not so happy. In the Mohammadi family, Jawed was actually picked up by ICE. And I think we all know that he has the legitimate credentials. He is going through the process, which is required, et cetera. And he was picked up and taken to Indianapolis. And that's all we know at this point. But just keep him in your prayers because that's really hard. So I hate to end on that note. Is there anyone else with happy? Okay, thank you for saving me. Katie.
Okay. I'm just happy to be here today at the Rotary meeting with my fellow Rotarians. Yeah.
Thank you all. That last one there, Katie, the last time I saw her was early in the semester and she was telling me she was on her way to Bangladesh. And then, you know, after a month and after 2 months and after 3 months, I began to get a little bit concerned. So I'm glad that she's back with us today. Jim Griffith will introduce our speaker for today.
Good afternoon. Our speaker today is Jeff Immel, Service to Armed Forces and International Services Director for the American Red Cross in Indiana. Jeff leads a portfolio that touches military families, veterans, and international communities across the state. His work ranges from emergency communications for deployed service members to building innovative outreach programs in neighborhoods, YMCAs, community centers, nursing homes, and National Guard installations. Jeff is known across the Red Cross for creating bold new models that bring the mission closer to the people it serves. He leads the National Training Hub for Service to Armed Forces deployment teams in Indiana at Camp Atterbury. He is the architect behind several field-tested community mobilization pilots, and these prototypes are now drawing interest from regions across the country. Jeff served 8 years in the United States Marine Corps, is an electrical engineer, and founded and ran a drone manufacturing company that supported federal government customers. Jeff is a lifelong Hoosier, an amateur radio operator, a published author, and a student of leadership. He believes in small acts that create big impact. He believes in wow moments. And he believes that communities become stronger when people step forward for one another. So please join me in welcoming today's speaker, my colleague and friend, Jeff Immel.
Well, thank you so much, Jim. I got to say, I've been to several Rotary clubs over the last several years. You by far are the most technologically advanced Rotary club on the planet. I mean, the roving camera, that is way cool. I was briefed today as if I was a professional speaker. I mean, when I walked in, I was greeted and immediately I was briefed on lapel mic and clicker and everything else. So I hope that when I push this button that my presentation is going to, oh, here it comes. It's coming up. Wonderful. I want to share some things with you, some secrets behind the American Red Cross. And I would imagine whenever you think of the American Red Cross, you probably immediately think of what? Yeah, we collect blood. We teach CPR. We ask you for money during disasters. We respond to home fires. Well, I'm about to tell you something about the American Red Cross that no one knows about, but that we're very active in worldwide. And I think what we're going to find in this presentation is that the Rotary and the Red Cross have a great deal in common. This is Shaman. And Shaman has lived in a Rwandan refugee camp for all of her life. She's still there. And 25 years ago, Shaman, living in this refugee camp with her 2-year-old daughter. And Shaman had a pretty good idea that life was not going to change for her anytime soon, and maybe never. And consequently, life for her 2-year-old daughter was probably going to replicate her life. Shaman made an excruciating decision. There was an opportunity for her to put her daughter up for adoption. And her daughter would be adopted by a family in the United States. It completely destroyed her. It was excruciating. But Shaman decided that the best thing for her daughter was adoption by someone in the United States. For over 22 years, Shaman thought about her daughter every single day. And every single day she thought would have, could have, should have. Every single day she wondered if the decision that she made was the right decision. She wondered where her daughter was, what kind of family she was with, where did she live in the United States? And really, truly, was the decision that Shaman made the right decision? Well, Shaman was impacted by a program that is run by the International Societies of the American Red Cross. And it's called Restoring Family Links. And Restoring Family Links is a program that can be used by families and family members who have been separated because of war, because of armed conflict, because of political conflict. And these family members can reach out to the Society of the Red Cross in their country, and they can file a case. They can actually open a case, provide information about the family member that they are looking for. They might even have a picture. Shaman did. Shaman had a picture of her 2-year-old daughter. She can provide information of what she knew, and Shaman knew very little other than her daughter went to the United States and was adopted somewhere in the United States. Shaman didn't learn about this program until one day, 22 years after she put her daughter up for adoption. She was talking to a volunteer of the Rwandan Red Cross. And Shaman shared her story about she put her daughter up for adoption. She wonders where she is. She wonders if she made the right decision. And it just so happened that this volunteer knew about the program Restoring Family Links, shared this with Shaman. And so the volunteer helped her fill out all the paperwork. The volunteer collected the picture that she had. And that paperwork entered into the database of the International Red Cross. Now, the way this works is that we have volunteer caseworkers Volunteer, we call Restoring Family Links, RFL. That's the acronym. We love acronyms in the Red Cross. So it's an RFL caseworker, a volunteer caseworker. And we have 6 of those here in Indiana alone. And that caseworker gets to play a very important role. Now, I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember. I am. On Saturday nights, I think it was on CBS, there was this show called Columbo. Yeah. Columbo. Now, I love Columbo because it was always interesting how he was able to solve every single one of his cases in less than an hour with commercials by simply asking questions. And that's how we train our RFL caseworkers. Be curious, ask questions, and they begin to collect the leads, and they begin to run down the leads, and they ask more questions. And when the family member is located, we've got a couple of options. One is that we can have the family member who is located, if they want to be found, they can write a letter to the family member that was looking for them. We send that through the Red Cross network. The other way is that we simply pick up the phone and they can make a telephone call if we have a phone number, or even a video call. So that's how RFL works. This really matters. And it really matters because families deserve answers. We had an RFL case that was opened up about 3 years ago. It was a family member who had immigrated here from Honduras with his family. He decided to go back to Honduras and visit the family that was there. He was calling home every day, and then one day after about a week, he quit calling home. And no one was answering his cell phone. And so the family opened an RFL case. It went to one of our caseworkers here. They asked questions, they searched, they collected all the information. They reached out to their counterpart in Honduras, the Honduran Red Cross. And that person went to work, that volunteer caseworker went to work, and she found him in jail. Yeah. He had been picked up for something he did not do. And that caseworker in Honduras found an attorney that would take that case pro bono. And in less than 3 days, that family member, that brother, was out and was back in the United States. And that is the power of RFL. We have a growing international population here in Indiana. In Greenwood, Indiana, we have the Chin community. These are people who have immigrated here from Myanmar. Most of them have been persecuted because of their religious beliefs. Over 41,000 are here in Indiana. Many of them have left family members back at home. We have a Haitian Creole community. We have a Latino community. We have Ukrainian community, Afghan community that are all here. And here in Indiana alone, since 2023, 2 years, we have reunited 6 families. And right now we have 6 cases that are opened here in the state. This is where we have a lot in common. In Rotary, you have service above self. Yeah, service above self. For us, it is humanitarian action. It is serving others, as I like to say, serving people on their absolute worst day. Both our organizations, well, we build bridges, and you build bridges through service, and we build bridges through reconnecting families. Here's some ways that you can help. Now, in a little bit, I'm going to share with you a QR code. You can scan that with your phone. That's going to take you to the Restoring Family Links page on the Red Cross website. You can read more about Restoring Family Links. I would encourage you to please share it within your networks. Tell people, I learned something new about the American Red Cross. They just don't collect blood, but they also help reconnect families. You may know of a community leader from the international community. Introduce me to them. I would love to meet them, and I would love to tell them more about Restoring Family Links. And if you're really excited about this, you can actually be trained as a Restoring Family Links presenter and do the same thing that I'm doing right now. Simply sharing the program with your community. And you don't have to stand in front of a group of people. You can share that one-on-one with your friends, with your families, and within your networks. It's really easy to become a presenter. The training is less than an hour. It's all online. And it's really a great thing to have in your toolkit. Shaman again. I didn't tell you what happened, did I? No. Well, I'll tell you what happened. So that case came to Indiana because the family that adopted Shaman's daughter lived in Indianapolis. And so our caseworker got it and began to work that case. Boy, it took some time. She ran down some dead-end leads and a few others. But one day she made a telephone call who she thought might be Shaman's daughter. And she began asking questions. And come to find out, the woman that she was talking to on the other end said, yes, I know that my mother put me up for adoption. I know that my mother is from Rwanda. And so she actually had a picture of her mother. And so we took this picture here and compared it to the picture of her mother, and it was a match. Oh my goodness, how exciting. So our caseworker immediately reached out through the network, got in touch with the volunteer that was in that refugee camp, and it just comes to find out that everybody had Apple phones. Oh my goodness. So you know what that means, right? That means we're going to do a video call, and this refugee camp had outstanding Wi-Fi. Wow. To see that moment. Now here is the bonus. Here's the icing on the cake. Shaman is not only a mother, she's a grandmother. Has a 2-year-old granddaughter. Yeah. What a story. Wow. What a story that is. And to even be a part of that is so fulfilling. You can be a part of it too. Here's a QR code. You can scan this. This will take you to the American Red Cross Restoring Family Links webpage. You can read all about Restoring Family Links. You can read about some really, really great stories about families being reunited, families that had lost track of each other and now are brought together because of this program. Now, I'm going to put this back up here in just a little bit when we go to Q&A. But here's my contact information. Hey, if you know of someone who has missing family somewhere outside the United States, reach out to me, because I will be thrilled to talk with them. I will be thrilled to guide them. I'll be thrilled to point them to the proper path. What kind of questions do you have for me? Sir.
Oh, right here. I've got it.
Oh, got it.
Sir, that was such an inspiring talk, and it certainly resonated with me. I may have missed this, but I'd like to investigate becoming a Rotary volunteer. How does one go about it?
Yes, so that is really easy. You can go on the internet to redcross.org, click on the volunteer button, and then simply fill out a volunteer application. It's going to ask you, what do you want to do? Push RFL. Now, an even faster way is, hey, see me. All right, I'm gonna give you my business card, okay, and then we'll get you going. So thank you for that. Sure.
I know you do a lot of work in collaboration with other organizations like AmeriCare's Direct Relief. I mean, there's so many of you folks that do great work in disaster relief. But of course, a large part of that was also the U.S. government and the role they played in that. And we've had a lot of cuts with to various organizations as well as programs. So I'm wondering how you folks are managing during these very challenging times with a lot of cuts and a lot of, I would say, increased distress, increased poverty, increased hunger, increased homelessness. How are you managing through these very challenging times?
Yeah, the times are challenging. One thing is the American Red Cross, we have no government funding. So we are only sustained through donor donations. So that's where that comes from. Part of that too is, so you're aware that the Red Cross teaches CPR and first aid. So that is a profit center for the Red Cross. That is that money is a contributor to support Red Cross missions. Also, our blood collection also is another way that we support our mission, but we have no government funding. Now, one of the things that all organizations face, all nonprofit organizations, is simply donor fatigue. Because you're right, there are so many organizations that are out there. One thing that we're blessed with is that the American Red Cross is the second most recognized brand in the United States. Does anybody know what the first most recognized brand is?
McDonald's.
Ooh, okay, so I heard McDonald's. I heard Coca-Cola. Anyone else want to try?
Ketchup. Heinz.
IU football, Heinz. It's Coca-Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola is the #1 most recognized brand in the United States. And second to that is the American Red Cross. So we're thankful for that. I'm also thankful that whenever there is a big disaster, you'll notice, like during NFL football games, you'll see the crawl that goes across there, donate to the Red Cross.
Do we have any questions online?
No, we do not.
All right, Sally?
Just a clarification, do you mean that you've never sought federal funding, or you currently do not have federal funding?
So currently, we do not have.
You used to have federal funding.
I don't know, ma'am. I have no idea. I'm kind of new to the Red Cross. I sold my drone company and retired and was looking for some structure in my life and wanted to help people on their worst day. And so here I am.
This is a question I don't want to ask, but I'm going to. I was a volunteer in Appalachian, Kentucky when we had a flood, and I served as a volunteer handing out supplies and so forth. I found in that experience that there were a few people, a very few, who exaggerated their condition or said, somebody would say, well, this guy never had the flood in his house. How much of that happens in your emergency recovery operations? People that don't really qualify, but they ask for help.
So I'm sure that happens. I don't have any visibility into that to give you a firm statistic on how that happens. I'm sorry that you saw that, and I'm sorry that happens, but I don't know the answer to your question. I'm sorry.
Okay, I have one question. So tagging on to what Jeff said earlier, with the RFL specifically and the government changes in immigration, et cetera, are you seeing that impact adoption or locating each families?
So I'll tell you what I see. So tomorrow, I will be at an event at the Chin Community Center in Greenwood, Indiana. And I work a lot with the Chin community. I work a lot with the Burmese community, Latino community. What I see is a sense of fear about reaching out to locate family members. And the reason why is because we got to collect some information. We've got to collect information on when's the last time that you had contact with them. Do you have an address or a telephone number that used to work? And what we find is people in the international community right now feel some fear about sharing that information right now. So that's what I'm seeing.
If I have one more question, can you talk about countries in the world where it's especially hard to get information? So you talked about Myanmar, and are there other examples where people just disappear and you can't get information?
Ukraine. We have 2 cases right now in Ukraine, and these 2 gentlemen disappeared. We don't know where they are. So those are active cases. Iraq is another one that we find. Afghanistan is another one. Pakistan would be those places that are the most difficult to attempt to locate someone. Now you notice that all of those have something in common. All of them have recently been in some sort of war, some sort of armed conflict. And that's what is particularly difficult with Ukraine. So the 2 people that are missing were combatants. They went missing sometime during combat, and now we're trying to find them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Just the thought of reconnecting families is so heartwarming. In honor of your talk, a donation will be made this quarter to the Lake Monroe Water Fund. So thank you. We are a little bit ahead of schedule, and so I'm going to do something we've not done before that I know of, at least during my short time with the club. But we're going to have 5 minutes of open mic. If there's a member who wants to put up your hand, you'll actually have to come to the front of the room. So Tracy, you're good to go, or online. But anyone has something short that they want to say. Hopefully it's positive, but it can be negative. So is there, we have happy dollars, but those are confined to happy thoughts. But anyone who'd like to just get up and say something? Okay, John and Jim are.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm John Zodi, your club treasurer. It's not about a treasure or money thing. But I'm also on the steering committee for IU Bloomington's celebration of America's 250th birthday. And so just wanted to, part of my job is to outreach with service organizations around Bloomington, and obviously we're one. So I just want to let you know to kind of keep your eyes peeled for information about what the university will be doing next year when we get into 2026. If you didn't know, IU is one of the holders of one of 3 copies of the Declaration of Independence west of the Allegheny Mountains. It's housed at the Lilly Library. So more to come, but wanted to make that announcement. Thanks for the open mic.
I just wanted to say a couple things. One, isn't it great to have a partnership with the American Red Cross? And it's so wonderful to have Jim Griffith as a member. And Jeff, that was a terrific talk. Thank you so much. You really speak from the heart. Also, as several of you mentioned, wasn't Saturday night special? I mean, honest to goodness, I never in my life thought I would live to see such a date. And, you know, I'm a little sad, more than a little sad, that some people who were such big IU fans, I think of Bob Hamill, and who didn't live to see it. You know, just kind of that part of it kind of breaks my heart. I just wanted to also, many of you I'm sure already know this, but next Sunday night, 60 Minutes is doing a segment on Coach Cignetti and the turnaround. And I don't know about you, but I'm planning on tuning in for that. John Wertheim, who is a native Bloomingtonian and has worked for Sports Illustrated for years and currently works for CBS 60 Minutes, is doing that story. So 7 o'clock Sunday, unless the NFL game pushes it back, the starting time. But I know you'll want to join me in seeing that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve.
A couple of things I want to reply to John. So we have between Glenda Murray and Jim Katchu and now John Zodi, I feel like we're kind of have good connections as to the America 250th anniversary. And hopefully we are planning next week to induct the new director of the Monroe County History Center. So anyway, we're kind of looking for cues as to what our role as a club will be in celebrating America's 250th anniversary. The other thing, in response to Jim's comment, Bob Hamill's son was a suite mate during one of my years at IU. And before the game, I got a text from him, and he was at the game and a picture of what he could see down on the field. So I was really happy for him and sorry that his dad wasn't alive.
Just to tag on to what John said, for those of you who have not watched for the 250th anniversary, the Ken Burns special, it's very good to watch. It's a reminder of what we in this country have gone through over the years. This is not new news, what we go through now, and it should give you some inspiration that we fight for what's right.
And since this is also close to December 7th, I would also say that one of the other things that happens every year at Christmas time is a group called Wreaths Across America. People buy wreaths online, volunteers put them out in cemeteries. We first experienced this in Beaufort, South Carolina at the National Cemetery there where Patrick's brother-in-law is buried and nephew. But we do this in Monroe County in a number of cemeteries. And so if anybody is interested in helping on Saturday, they're hoping to have 1,600 wreaths to put out in Rose Hill, just Rose Hill Cemetery. But it's a huge cemetery. So if you have time, anytime between now and the end of the year, drive through and see the wreaths and the red bow, and you know every one of those graves is a service member. Thank you.
Thank you, Glenda. Leslie, anyone online have anything they'd like to say?
No hands came up, but I just want to say I rang the bell for the first time at the Southside Kroger, and I had a blast. I think I talked to everybody that walked by and just want to say thank you for everybody participating in the bell ringing. It was quite enjoyable.
And thanks for doing that, Leslie. One last thing that Steve, come on up if you want to come up and say something, but that I'd like to say is we had a presentation, and I lose track of time, but it was a year and a half ago, and it was about innovative defense readiness and about a possible really big project that the military would do here in Bloomington. And we were hoping it would take place in June of 26. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen. We haven't heard if it's a no or if it's a not now. But anyway, that was kind of out there as a big question mark on our calendar. It would have been a really great thing for this community. And unfortunately, it's not going to happen at this time.
Just wanted to say in remembrance of this 250th anniversary, we're pretty lucky. My mother and her 3 brothers from Fairland, Indiana, all volunteered within 2 weeks of Pearl Harbor. They served honorably and had an honorable discharge, and 2 of the boys saw serious action in that war. One went into the hospital for 14 months in the Battle of Okinawa. So the United States has a long history of serious conflict. The worst, of course, is our Civil War, where we lost more people than we lost in all of our other wars combined. So we're lucky to be where we are today. It inspired me to join Navy. And just wanted to say, be happy that you're here.
Steve, we have one more online for Judy Schroeder.
Okay, go ahead, Judy.
I just want to emphasize that we have a meeting next week, and it's going to be a really important meeting. I know that Steve was going to tell you this, but I'm going to get a jump on him. We have a really good expert, Bob Kravchuk, on Ukraine, and he's going to give us his update on what is going on there, and it will be up to the minute. So I don't think you'll want to miss this meeting. Just wanted you all to know that.
Thank you, Judy. I also want to thank you. I was afraid there might be a motion to impeach, but that hasn't happened. So anyway, so as Judy said, next meeting will be here in the Jordan Room, December 16th, and we'll learn up to date about the war in Ukraine. So Tyler, if you could share the graphic for the 4-way test. All right, did you have something?
Yeah, one quick thing. For anyone who didn't get the QR code from Jeff's PowerPoint, at the end of the meeting, I'm going to put it back up on the screen.
Okay, excellent. After the 4-way test, right?
Yes.
Okay. So please stand if you're able. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And fifth, is it fun?